What's up, guys? Joshua Danger. What's up, guys? Joshua Danger here, and here's my big update. If you guys didn't know anything about this, I've actually been working on a lot of different projects. Some of them were short film projects way back when, late last year. I said I was doing quite a bit of those, and I did demonstrate them. Um, Last year. I thought I would bring you guys a little bit more into my world. Of what's been going on. One thing, I've actually been working on my own wrestling promotion. And that's another thing that I've actually been wanting to talk about. Everybody that knows me knows that I've had a pretty good wrestling career. I've been very, very blessed by not having serious injuries. Um, that's another thing that I know. Me being 40 years old and being in this business for over 20 years, um, my career's not going to last forever. Um, but I think I could make it last long enough to actually do something. Um, a little bit longer. So actually, I'm gonna go share this out, guys. Hold on. So bear with me. So um, bear with me, guys. I'm actually sending this out to a few different people. Sorry, I'm taking a little long with this. It's usually a little easier having people assist you, but it's all good. Um, 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 um. Let's just get a few people in here. Hey, what's up, Vince? Glad you could make it, my dude. So, there we go. Just sent out invites. So, yeah. hopefully everything's looking good on your end of the stream. I had to go to ultra low latency, so to make sure the chat was fresh. So I was actually talking about how my wrestling career is not coming to an end yet, but I promise you this. I'm leaving you guys in the dark until the very, very end for the big announcement. So, as everybody knows, I've also got wrestling projects. I've got musical projects coming up, especially a new Black Channel album coming out, which I don't know how soon that's going to be. But I promise you it will be out this year. But I've also came to terms that this is the year of the 20th anniversary of the Seven Dead Carney stuff I did for their last album, which God rest for some of the original members. And last night I was sitting on Live Me talking with one of my best buds, Rev J Cool, who's from Bakersfield, California, and you know, me and him were talking about old times and how I remember that being one of the highlights of my career. Well, outside of doing Woodstock '99, which that was kind of a fluke. That I actually got to work at Woodstock '99, but everybody was actually saying when I was living out in California at the time, I was moving back to Michigan because I had a severe drug habit, which you can't take back anything that you did in the past. So I come to terms with it. But I also said, you know, there's still one thing that I wanted to do, and that was a new Screaming Flamingos album. Wrong. New Seven Dead album, which I never thought that I was actually going to do. Which I came back to Michigan in September of '01. Actually, it was August of '01. Late August, to say the least. Because I was on my last tour with Seven Dead. And basically, I said, fuck you guys, I quit. 20 years ago. So we finished the album. Actually, it was right around this time that year, which was called Dark Days. Because I was actually living in dark days, and everybody was actually saying me at 20 years old was gonna die. And I was like, I was doing a lot of stupid shit. I was doing a lot of drugs. I was doing a lot of bad shit. And I needed to stop. And a lot of people actually said, Josh, you need to slow down, dude, or you're gonna die. And I was, me being typical me, stubborn, bullheaded, being like, dude, I'm a god. Like, literally saying I'm a god. It's not gonna fucking kill me. Luckily, it didn't kill me. But it probably did more damage to me than I even imagined. It screwed up my psyche for a lot of years. It made me go from being the most untouchable person to the most scared person after, like, I saw what it did when I was in rehab. And the first thing that I thought was like, I'm gonna die in rehab. They asked me to go to rehab, and I was like, no, I'm not going. Fuck you guys. And, you know, it took me 4 years, which I was still with Lizzie, the other bass player, other than myself, and also lead vocalist. I was with her for most of the ride. And, it took me till about '04 when she passed to realize that I'm not the god that I think I am. You know, I don't say I have a god complex. I say I have an alpha complex, which I'll admit that I do have an alpha side to me, but at the end of the day, her killing herself actually hurt me more than anything. But I'm realizing now that being friends with people like that only hurts you in the long run. It's always going to be the ones that actually show their true colors and actually threaten to whip your ass when you need your ass whipped. So basically, that was the one thing that I can always say. Then I always said, I was like, dude, I'm going into this and I'm doing things my way. But I also said, fuck everything. I also said, fuck everything at that point. And, 2004 when Lizzie died, I was in the middle of actually. I was actually working with Migs and Mikey from Cold Chamber on a project, on a 3-piece project. That was kind of a secret Seven Dead project without like everybody. And I was friends with them guys, and and I felt bad for Migs, and I felt bad for Mikey, because they lost the greatest band that they were in, Cold Chamber. And they were looking to make some money, and we were doing good shows in '04. Um but I was actually sober through it. I was actually managing the project. I was working every day with them, and we never got anything accomplished because Mikey Mikey was Mikey was doing everything he could to get Meigs clean. And Meigs didn't want to do it. Meigs reminded me of me. And I said, honestly, I don't think I can work. Like, Mikey quit that year and said, actually, it was Mikey, Meigs, my buddy Corey, who was in a band with me, and me. We were actually a 4-piece called Dark Days, which, like I said, secret Seven Dead thing. Secret Seven Dead project without the seven. I always said I always wanted to go back and do another album with Seven. And I think it was 15 or 16. Actually, I think it might have been 17. I was working on a project with five or six other cats. One of them being my best friend Riley Tyler, who was actually the original guitar player. We were doing a lot of shows. I think it was 17. We were going back and forth. We were running the circuit. Like, I think we ran the entire summer around Michigan, and I lost. He fell asleep behind the wheel one night. I want to say it was September of 17. Died. Went into the ditch, died almost instantly. I was actually supposed to be in the car with in the truck, or actually it was his car. No, it was actually his truck. That's what it was, because I was actually supposed to ride with him. And if I was actually with my girlfriend at the time, and she was actually driving me to the shows. But needless to say, I don't want to make this very, very much longer. I was actually with her, and I fa- I got a call from Riley's wife. Said Riley never made it home. I was like, what? Like, I think we were driving out from Grand Rapids that night. And she's like, did he say if he was going to stop somewhere and sleep? And I was like, no, he actually said he was going straight home. And he said it was going to be about a 2.5 hour, or 2 hour car ride, because he lived in, I want to say Owasso. It was like 2.5 hours. And he never made it home. And come to find out, the cops actually found him the next morning. Dead. In the ditch. Literally in the ditch. Because some drunk driver actually destroyed him. Ooh, what's this? Okay, so, needless to say, we never got to finish the project that we were doing. And he had all the backups from Dark Days, from the Dark Days album. He had everything backed up. Like, he had every master tape. And all of the original pressing CDs. Which, we sold out of those, like, years ago. Like, we sold, like, I think the last we had of them were, like, I think we had, like, maybe 100 left out of the 5,000 that we sold. Actually, out of the 10,000 we sold. And we sold out of them, like 3 years ago, because I was actually going around actually selling those at shows, and, until they ran out, which I always told her, I was like, you're going to get the money. I don't need. But I always said, 20 years of 20 dead or 7 dead carnies. God, wrong bands. I always said I always wanted to go back with them, and I never got to. Especially after my cousin died. My cousin Amy, who was actually the original, I want to say, she was actually the drummer for the Screaming Flamingos, and she was also our tour manager. She was booking our shit every year, and she was booking us for limited shows. So that being said, guys, that's why I decided that I'm gonna do 7, like, as soon as we get our shit together, I'm doing, with the Black Channel, I'm doing 7 dead shows around the U.S. And I said that, if it wasn't for my friends, like Rev J. Cool, and the band Brights, and all of the friends that have always supported me, I would not be where I'm at today. Working on new music. And doing a 7 Dead, and basically doing a 7 Dead 20th anniversary show. Which, like I said, this is gonna be Dark Days. This is gonna be the Dark Days tour, which we're actually gonna do a double set every night. We're going to be doing 2 45-minute sets every night. One dedicated to the album, Dark Days. And one dedicated to the stuff that the Black Channel's doing. Which I think we're probably, actually, it's probably not going to be 45 minutes, but they're going to be at least 75 minutes together. Because, like I said, Dark Days was a dark album, and it was actually a very, very personal time in my life. And if it wasn't for the personal times in my life, I would not be here today. So, that being said, I'm going to move on. I, Number two on this show, I'm actually gonna go back to doing a lot more vlogs. Um, a lot more vlogs. So, let's see if I can find Ethan. The other, like I said, I'm gonna be doing a lot more vlogs. Coming up on this channel. So, ooh, there we go. Um, um, like I said, I'm gonna be doing a lot more vlogs on this channel. Like I've got my magnification kit going here. I'm actually gonna be buying some extra God, what do you call them? CO2 cartridges for my airsoft gun. Um, um, I'm gonna be doing a lot. Plus, I'm gonna be doing a little bit more tour vloggy type stuff. Going around places, talking about the things that I love. I'm actually gonna be doing a lot more videos here and there every day. So, and I'm actually going to be trying to do at least 2 to 3 videos per week. So, bear with me on that. I don't want to do too many, but I'm also going to be doing a lot of shit on Dead Vision Entertainment. So, keep a lookout for that. I think me and Batgirl are actually going to be doing our own separate things on Dead Vision every so often. But, you know, oh, yeah. And the other thing, about the tour, the Seven Dead tour. We are actually going to be doing a giveaway of something that is actually going to be coming really, really up within the next month, I think. A video that's actually going to be coming up relatively soon. I promise you, we're actually going to be doing something like that. And for the big one, I'm actually going to be doing more wrestling content. And one of the big things that I'm actually going to be doing is I'm actually going to be going out to California. And I got an offer to do a one-off with Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, which I've never been asked to do anything other than extra work with them, especially being friends with Excalibur from AEW, the AEW announcer who actually used to run that show. I'm actually gonna go back into it, and here's one of the bigger news is I actually got told that I might be going into the new OVW Hall of Fame. Because of me hitting my 20-year anniversary with them. So and possibly working another match with Sami Callihan. So, but here's what I've decided. One of my decisions that I made, I made the Black Channel official channel like a few months ago. When I do my wrestling stuff, it's actually going to be on my personal channel. Hey, what's up, Alex? How you doing, my brother? So, and one of the things that I've been in contact with, I will be working with Sami Callihan somewhere down in the near future. Which, what we're going to do is going to be very, very highlighted amongst, like, the critics. And it's not going to be pretty. So, basically, we're going to get paid to beat the living shit out of each other. So, and be prepared for a new wrestling Joshua Danger, aka Joshua Maddox, because that was another one of my wrestling names that I had before I started Joshua Danger. Yes, my wrestling shit is gonna be going onto my channel, Alex. So if you don't get, basically, if you don't get your head out of your ass, I'm gonna come up to Canada and beat the living hell out of you. Just kidding, brother. So that being said, no, I'm not getting off here yet. I'm actually going to be taking questions. So if you guys actually want to talk, feel free. Ask away, ask questions away. Like I said, Seven Dead Carney's 20th anniversary show is coming up. With bands like Brights, Rev J Cool, basically all my friends' bands. And I'm actually kind of in talks with Alfonso from Heartsick about doing a show out here in Michigan with them. So keep a lookout for that. Like I said, everything that I was doing on the Black Channel official YouTube is actually going to be going on here minus my music work. Honestly, one person that I could, if you could work with anyone that you never worked before, who would it be? That's actually a really good question, Alex. Obviously Ric Flair would actually be up at the top of the list, even though, because of him being my idol. I was gonna say if my uncle Kurt, aka Mr. Perfect, was still around, I would say him. Probably. I've worked Bray Wyatt a couple of times. I've worked Bo Dallas a couple times. In our house shows. Back when I did work with partly with WWE. I was actually helping train them. God, Ric Flair would definitely be at the top of my list. I think Abyss would actually be kind of cool, but I've actually worked with them. I worked with him when he was actually doing a little bit of extra work with OVW. I want to say 5-6 years ago, I think. I think it was like 15 or 16. I don't remember especially when. But it was roughly around then. But Chris Parks, a.k.a. Abyss, one of the greatest people I've ever been in the ring with. One of the smartest guys I've ever been in the ring with. I've actually worked with Kevin Nash. Honestly, one of the guys that's always kind of been on my bucket list is, honestly, he's still wrestling a lot of indie shows, and that was actually the guy who trained me, aka Mr. Scott and Rick Steiner. I would actually love to work with them. Um, because I never ever really got to wrestle them in an actual ring. So, or wrestle them, period. Um, Sean Waltman, aka X Pac, would actually be kind of cool. Billy Gunn would probably be fun to work with. Because at least I know I can probably trust him. Probably work with Billy Gunn's kids, Austin and Colton, who are all both with AEW. One guy I actually do want to work with, and it's definitely going to be a possibility if I go work select shows with AEW and Impact. Kenny Omega, obviously. Kenny Omega would actually be a cool match. I would love to work with him. He's a highlight. Matt Sydal, aka Evan Bourne. Actually, I think I did work with him though. Actually, I'd like to work with his brother Matt or Mike Bourne, or Mike Sydal. I've never worked with Mike Sydal. God. Orange Cassidy would be cool to work with because I'm kind of a gimmick. Obviously, working with Logan Paul would actually be kind of fucking interesting. But I highly doubt he's actually going to get in a ring with me, even if Pro Wrestling Guerrilla is going to pay me what they say they're going to pay me, which I'm not going to go into money. Details with that. Ooh. Oh. You're really pinning me. You're putting me in a bad spot with that match, Alex. Um, Seth Rollins is great. Maybe the greatest. Mm, maybe the greatest heel outside of MJF. Definitely more like Jay Lethal would be fucking great to work with. Jay Lethal would actually be a lot of fun to see. But Jay Lethal's kind of that outside kind of guy. Like, he's going to bring a hell of a match. Especially with a guy like AJ Styles in the mix. Like, those two are going to do it fucking big. Jericho's actually one of the coolest people I've ever met. But I would actually, as much as I love Jericho and Styles and all four of those guys, I think Seth has actually got the biggest roof. Jericho's kind of old, but he's still as good as he ever has been. AJ Styles is right. Actually, AJ Styles is actually 3 years older than me. Almost 4. Sorry, AJ. Lethal's kind of still in my age bracket. Seth is relatively young. I want to say Seth is like 30. God. I want to say he's definitely under 40. Like I want to say 34. 34 or 35, I think. I don't remember. So I think Seth Rollins is actually probably the highlight. And I think Seth would win that Fatal 4-Way, but I think Jericho gives him a hell of a shot. And I think brings him to a whole nother factor. So, anything else, guys? So big announcements. pretty much happened. I actually feel pretty damn good about this. So that being said, let's see, anything else popping up in the chat box? I don't know if it is. But I think me and Batgirl, we're actually probably gonna be playing some Among Us later today. If you want to join us, feel free. Yeah, I know, Alex. But um like I said, I'm gonna be doing a lot more vlogs, possibly even more tour vlogs. Especially being that I'm actually gonna be on the road more. So that being said, guys, I'm not getting a lot of response here, so I'm always gonna say be happy, have fun, be safe, and just be you. And be good to people. Because if you're not good to people, you shouldn't be. They shouldn't be good to you. But if you're better than some people, and you actually feel better than other people, stay positive, and you know you'll shine through all of the hate. So have a great day, guys. That was my big announcement. I didn't want to do. I was actually looking to do about a 30-minute video with this. You versus Tom McDonald. Oh fuck. Ooh. You know, I have no ill will against Tom McDonald. Actually, I'm kind of actually liking some of his new stuff, even though a lot of people say he's not that talented. I think he's actually one of the more talented guys out there. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for nobody. And being that I am going back to wrestling almost full time, I'm going to let you guys know this, but if there is a gathering, I'm actually going to go this year. So, and I'm actually going to be one of the talents and hopefully jump in a wrestling ring. So, be prepared for whatever happens. War's going to happen, baby. And it's all going to be happening at the expense of the danger zone. So, live life a little bit dangerously, but have fun while doing it. And be remotely safe. So, that being said, guys, remember, comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, hit the damn bell to make sure you're notified when I go live, which I know you are. I know you do, Alex. And I know you are going live. And, oh, another big one. Reactions. Coming to the Joshua Danger Experience channel. So, have fun, everybody. Have a great Saturday. And be awesome. And be good to each other. So, have a good day. Bloop. Fuck off. And good night. Bang, bang. Gang, gang.